Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I'm just coming back with a collection update as I've added some things into my collection that were technically part of my collection, but they were sitting in my in-laws' basement. So I never really showed it to you, or I haven't actually put it on the shelf. I went over there today and I picked some of that stuff up. I also have some pickups, a couple items rather, from a Value Village, and I also have stuff from a pawn shop that sometimes I check out, but for the most part I don't really want to pay the prices at a pawn shop. But I got some pretty good deals today, so I actually ended up picking a few things up from there. The first stuff that I'll go through are the things that I had that I just kind of found recently, like in some of it's in boxes in my house, and then other ones are from my in-laws' place. So I'll get to that right now. The first stuff that I'll show you is actually from my house, and this is just sitting in box upstairs. It's Wii Sports. I never actually played this disc because my Wii was modded, so I just installed this on it. So I have played the game, but I haven't actually used the disc before. I also found my manual for Grand Theft Auto 4, and also the map that goes with it, so pretty happy to get that back where it belongs. I also found upstairs this copy of Wii Play that's never been opened as well. Not super desirable or anything like that, but never opened it, so it's still sealed. So that's all the things from upstairs, like the general things, and I'll get into some other ones. I also found in the basement at my in-laws these three sleeves, which are just kind of cool for the graphics and everything on them. Interesting story behind it. My original one, I believe, had this game with it. It had Mech Assault and it had Xbox Live Arcade. I believe that was the two games that were together in one. It might have been the other way around. It might have been these two were together. Anyways, the one that came with Mech Assault, I had this Xbox, and not an interesting story, and I'm really kind of still bothers me a bit, but it really bothered me back in the day, but it just bothers me a bit now. I was living in a different city than I am now, and I was about to move here, and I was moving out of the apartment that I was in, and my roommate had this friend of his that would come over frequently and stuff like that, and I've helped that guy out before doing different things, and I was pretty decent to him. I wasn't a big fan of him. He was a little bit not my kind of human being, basically. But I was always nice to him. I was always kind to him, and I always helped him out a little bit and things like that. And he came over one day, and my buddy wasn't around, and my other roommate was sitting there but wasn't really paying attention. And this guy, because I was moving out and I had everything boxed up, he took the entire Xbox that I had packed away, ready to move, and that was the one that came with this. So I was pretty bummed about that. I ended up replacing that Xbox later on. I couldn't really afford to at the time to do that, and my wife graciously bought me a new system when she saw it on sale, and that's the one that came with the top spin version and the Amped 2. So I was pretty happy, when she did that. I was really ecstatic about it. I'm still kind of bummed about the whole guy stole my Xbox thing, but we kind of went to chase him down around town, and we couldn't find him. He was kind of all over the place. He was really trying to elude us, and I was basically leaving that day, so I didn't get a chance really to get him back, kind of deal. Not that I was gonna hunt him down and beat him up or anything, but it was just, I didn't really get a chance to get that system back. And now it doesn't bother me so much because they're a dime a dozen, but back then it would kind of bother me a bit. So these are the three sleeves. Anyways, it came with more of an interesting story than the sleeves are actually not that interesting. So some of the other things that I found in the basement were a copy of Final Fantasy Tactics with this gigantic sticker on it. It's a rental one. This disc has been resurfaced in the past, so it is definitely not perfect, but it is a copy of Final Fantasy Tactics. It is loose, but you know, it's there. And then also in the basement I found Tomb Raider 3. And I already have this game in my collection, but I think this one's probably in better shape because this was not a used copy, this was my original copy, so it's pretty pristine. Like, I kept these things in good shape, and you know, there's no like stickers or anything like that on it. And the case is good, which is hard for a PlayStation 1 game. And I also found my copy of Final Fantasy Tactics. It has no rental stickers and stuff like that on it. So I'm really happy again for that. I love this game. This is one of my favorite titles on the PlayStation 1. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I mean, I played this to death back in the day, so I'm really happy to get that back again. Some of the things that I found that were basically just sitting in a binder, which had sleeves and everything, were a bunch of different PlayStation 1 games, so I'll show you all those right now. This was one of my original games here that I had with my system, and it's Micro Machines, and I love this game. It's so much fun. I loved the NES ones. I remember them kind of when I was a kid. I remember playing those NES games, and or the NES game, and when I saw this for PlayStation 1, I had to get it, and when I got this, I was not disappointed. I'm hoping that in the basement at my in-laws, I'll be able to find the case for that one as well, because I'm pretty sure I didn't throw them out, but I'm just not entirely certain where they are. Another game that I really liked to play back in the day was Tetris Plus. I always remember when you got one line and the game would scream at you, "Single!" And I always thought it was funny for some reason. But anyways, yeah, so Tetris Plus, and it's in fairly decent shape. It's not too bad, really. The next one is Mech Warrior 2, and it's not too bad. I mean, maybe a little bit scratched up, but it'll definitely play. Another one that is also still on the shelf behind me here is Cool Borders 3, and this one might actually be in better condition. I'm not certain. It's definitely not perfect, but you never know. Destruction Derby. This was a rental, obviously, that I bought, so it's a little bit in need of a resurfacing, probably. It's not too bad, though. Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. Next one is NHL Face-Off 98. And then finally from that binder that I found is Crusader No Remorse. So, pretty good. I mean, all that stuff is free. It's just things that I already had. I just hadn't put them into my collection properly. So I thought I'd show you that. The next things that I'll show you are from the pickups that I got today. So here we go. From a Value Village, which is the first place that I stopped, I picked up SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. This was $3.99, so $4, and I know it's valued more than that, so I picked it up. I'm not super interested in SpongeBob stuff. I'm a little bit old for that, so you know. There's a SpongeBob game though, and I've checked it out. It's all complete, and the disc is in great shape. Also, I picked up Sonic Heroes. This one was actually $2.99, GameCube game. Kind of surprises me that it was cheaper than the other one, but anyways, it's the Player's Choice version, but I don't care about if it's Player's Choice or not. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. If it is, I'm not that kind of collector, man. I just want to play the games and have them in good shape. So this one's in great shape too, and it's all complete. After that, because those were the only two things that I found today, I decided I would end up going to a pawn shop and just checking out what they had, and I'm glad I did. I found some interesting titles. So the first one, I paid $3 for it, and I probably overpaid, but it's The Getaway for PlayStation 2. And again, it's mint and it's complete. So $3, I'm not too worried about it. I don't think it's valued at that, but whatever. For PlayStation 3, I picked up Ratchet and Clank All for One. This was $8, and it's also complete. And the disc is, I mean, it's nearly perfect. So, pretty happy with that. I'm starting to actually, kind of strange, but I'm starting to collect PlayStation 3 games. I originally got a PlayStation 3. I only played like a couple games on it, like Little Big Planet was one I wanted to check out, and I didn't really get into other ones because, you know, I couldn't afford like $60 a pop for games and stuff like that. But now that I'm finding them for like, you know, under 10 and sometimes like 4 or 3 or whatever, I'm starting to pick up PlayStation 3 games, and, you know, since this one's only on the PlayStation, you know, I've never actually played these kind of games before, so it's sort of fun. Another one which I bought, and I know some people are probably gonna laugh because I've heard that this game is pretty much horrible, but I thought I'd pick it up anyways, is Duke Nukem Forever. I paid $6 for this. It's sealed, so he tells you how much the pawn shop even values this game. Get $6 for a sealed PS3 game. But, you know, I thought I'd pick it up anyways, add it to the collection, and I don't always go off of other people's opinions of games. Sometimes I want to check them out for myself, so I will definitely open this and I will play Duke Nukem. Also, at the pawn shop, there were a bunch of PlayStation 1 games. They usually have the same ones, and they've had the same ones sitting there for quite some time. People aren't buying them, they're not really that great at titles, but I picked up a few of them. Nothing like super stellar or anything like that, but I didn't have them in my collection, and for the price I figured I would. This one here is Colony Wars, and it was $3. Looks kind of interesting, like looks like a spaceship shooter. I never actually checked this one out before, so it looks pretty cool though anyways, and it's complete. It has both discs. These discs are not in the world's greatest shape though. They will probably need to be resurfaced, but for $3 I figured I'd give it a shot. The next one is Tycho RC, Assault with a Battery, and this one here is also $3. The case has seen better days. It's got that broken hinge kind of deal going on there, so I'll have to replace that. But the disc is really mint, so I thought I'd pick it up. The next one is Need for Speed. Which one's this one? This one's Hot Pursuit. So Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. And again, this was $3. And it's not too bad a shape at all, actually. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You know, $3 for that. More than happy to do that. The next one is actually one I already had in my collection, so I don't really know why I bothered to pick it up. I think I kind of was in a rush. I had to go pick up my son, so I was really just kind of like grabbing and going sort of idea. And so I ended up picking this one up, but it's Asteroids. It's complete. The manual is kind of beat up, but the other copy I have over there on the shelf is much better. I'll probably sort of like see which disc is better of the two, and then make my complete copy. But, you know, worst comes to worst, at least I got a case that isn't all beat up or something like that. I can put another game in it, and I'll probably end up with this one, you know, when I get to like 100 subscribers, doing a contest of some sort, and I'll probably have one of these as the prizes. And then finally, a game I'd like to check out for sure is Enter Electro Spider-Man 2, and that one I also paid $3 for. So pretty good deal, I think, all around. Especially that last one. I do want to check out that Spider-Man game. I tend to like those games, so that's really awesome right there. Those are all my general pickups, but I have one more item, and I hope you've stuck around this long to see what this is, because I'm so happy about this. I was down in the in-laws basement, and I knew it was down there, and I never bothered to actually pick it out or anything like that. I finally picked it up today, and I'm so glad I did. Here it is. It is the box for an NES action set. This thing is dusty, but it is mint. Like, there is not really much wear in the corners or anything like that. My wife is really nice to her stuff, and this has lasted that many years sitting in that basement, and it is basically brand new. And this will be a wonderful display piece. I know I've said before I'm not a box collector, but I mean, come on, look at this. This is amazing. So I'll just open it up here because it gets even better. I've already checked out what was inside. There is no system in here. It's just the box, but there are a couple of things that are of interest in here. There was a sleeve there, and manuals for a couple of games. So there's the original manual that goes with Duck Hunt, and that is like as good as it gets, man. It doesn't get much better than that. As far as condition goes, there's maybe a tiny little bit of a dent here in the corner, but that's it. And then also a game which I have in my collection, Star Tropics. It's manual. The only thing about it is there's a little bit of a rip back here, but it isn't actually a rip, it's just more like a peeling. There must have been a sticker or something on there at some point. But again, really good shape overall. Inside the box, there's the control deck manual. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, obviously they use this when they were checking things out, so it's got like a little bit of wear and tear in the corners and stuff like that, but overall it's in pretty decent shape. It also has a poster, which basically I'm probably the first one to ever open it. I'm not going to open it any further because I want to keep it perfect, and if I am going to open it, it's not going to be sort of balancing it here. I will be extremely careful with this one when I do open it, but it has like all the games and stuff on it. You can see like Metroid and stuff there. Just awesome. I mean, this thing's perfect. I'll probably frame this or something and put it up on the walls down here. And then also the instruction manual that goes with the zapper was in there as well. Now, it still gets better. Inside there were these three boxes. The first one is Tetris. Now the game's not in here, but I do have the game already. And in it, there's the sleeve and also the manual. So I don't know if you can see that there, but the sleeve and the manual are in this box. So again, you know, free. I'm just so happy. And I mean, again, such good shape. It's unbelievable the shape that this is in. There's no like real wear and tear in it. Nothing's bent or anything. It's really good shape. It just has a sticker on there, like a price tag from original back in the day stuff. The next one, I don't even know which one to show you first. Super Mario 3, pristine box. Same thing, I'm not going to open it up here, but you know, it's in such great shape. Corners are perfect and everything, and I have an extra copy of this. So the sleeve is in here, which needs to be cleaned up. It's kind of dusty actually for some reason. The manual is in here as well. So cool. That's going to go on display as well. And then the last one, which I have an extra copy for, so it will also go in a box, Bubble Bobble. And there is that one, and it is gorgeous as well. I knew that that Nintendo box was down there, and I just never really got around to picking it up. I had no idea that these boxes were inside. I know that that will increase the value of those games significantly. So I'm super happy with that. The only thing wrong with this one is it's a little bit bubbled right here, like, you know, it's kind of been crushed a little bit, but it's not even that bad. I mean, I've seen way worse than that. But again, the manual's in there, so is the sleeve. This is just awesome. So impressed with that. You know, kind of a long video. I hope you stuck around to check all that stuff out. Again, super pumped about some of these items. I'm really happy to add my old stuff in, and then these items that were sitting down there in her parents' basement. Just really stoked about it. Again, if you have not subscribed, please do. And feel free to comment down below. Thumbs up if you can. And again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all later.